we have Kyurem making its way back into Pokemon Go for I don't even know how many times. It does have these shiny, but most importantly, we have a brand new moveset, and that's going to be Glaciate on this Pokemon, so I hope you guys are ready to max out. So with all that said, you know what time it is. Welcome to Trick Club! Here we go! Kyurem in Pokemon Go. Are you guys ready to get after it again? Man, I really thought that the next Kyurem that was going to be coming out was going to be black or white. However, hold on to this for me because maybe for the new year, we'll be able to get black or white. I have no absolute substantiation for that right now, but I am just hoping and praying that the black and the white version are going to come out at some point because not only are they much better than this Kyurem, but man, they are really cool looking as well, and the shinies are fantastic, and I can't wait to see those Pokemon in Pokemon Go. But if you guys do need one of two things, number one, I have 30% off on all my merch at trainerclub.shop if you guys do want to check it out. That includes the new Pac-Man shirt as well, so if you guys do want that, definitely check it out. And then if you need more raid battles, you can check in the pinned comments below, jump into the Discord, totally free, get into the remote raiding. You can even add friends from all around the globe to be able to get your Pavilion Pokemon, or also if you want to get into the Patreon and be more exclusive access for raid battles, that's going to be your place to be. So now we have Kyurem making its way into Pokemon Go, which is going to go down on Thursday, December 22nd at 10 a.m. and that's going to be with us all the way until the end of the year. And Kyurem is going to be a dragon and an ice type combination. A rare combination at that because dragons are weak to ice, and man, look at this Pokemon right here. So we have a dragon and an ice type combination. So this Pokemon is actually not going to be weak to ice because of that combination. It's going to max out at 4,041. It's going to have 5 weaknesses: steel, rock, fighting, fairy, as well as dragon. And then it has actually 3 resistances, which are going to be electric, grass, as well as water. This Pokemon at level 20 for the 100% IV is going to be 2,042, or you can catch it weather boosted under 2 conditions: windy weather, which is probably going to be more like my climate, or you can catch it in snowy weather, which is going to be other climates in the US at a level 25 at 2,553 for level 25. So that's pretty cool. High Pokemon, great Pokemon, and honestly, I'm excited to see tomorrow's video with you guys to see where does Glaciate put this Pokemon ranked in Pokemon Go as a meta attacker and for GBL. You do want to check this playlist out and be up to date because tomorrow it's going down. And as far as this Pokemon, it's going to get 2 moves, which are going to be Dragon Breath and Steel Wing for its quick moves. And then it gets 3 charge moves as of right now, which are going to be Blizzard, Draco Meteor, and Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw being the PvP move. Unfortunately, for the ice and for the dragons, there's not really any 2 super meta relevant moves to make this Pokemon really good as a meta attacker as of right now. But Glaciate is being added on to this Pokemon as well. And then taking down this Pokemon, it's going to take 1.79 trainers at level 40 counters to take it down. So it is not soloable, but it is doable, and it is pretty, I guess, relatively easily doable. However, just remember, guys, if you are using dragon counters against this Pokemon, it is going to be weak, especially those flying and dragon counters like Rayquaza to Blizzard, and that's going to one-hit KO those Pokemon as well as all the dragon moves. So the dragons are going to be very effective. However, at the same time, they are going to be a challenge because all the movesets coming out pretty much are going to be strong against these dragons, and things like Rayquaza are going to be a little bit more glassy of Pokemon. But without further ado, let's start moving into the counters. We're going to start with a couple shadows, and then we're going to go into the non-shadows and the megas, because the number 1 counter overall is one of my favorite Pokemon in the game because of how strong its shadow is, which is going to be Shadow Metagross. Shadow Metagross with Bullet Punch and Meteor Mash is the moveset that you do need. It is a Calm Day move, so it is not TMable. It is only coming from an Elite TM if that Pokemon does not already have it. That shiny form is very effective, and it's going to resist all the moves coming from this Pokemon. And actually, in the top 8, this is the only Shadow Pokemon, so we actually have a pardon from using very expensive counters to go after this Pokemon. And now we're going to move into the counters, excluding all of the Shadow Pokemon, starting right now. And the number 1 counter overall, I thought at first it was going to be a Mega. However, guys, if you didn't see the best of the best for the Terrakion, check it out up here. This Pokemon is insane with low kick as well as Sacred Sword because it is beating out the Mega Blaziken with counter and Focus Blast in counter spot number 2. In spot number 3, we're going to have Keldeo with low kick and Sacred Sword, and then we're going to have Metagross non-shadow with Bullet Punch and Meteor Mash. And as of all these Pokemon right now, the number 1 budget one is going to be Metagross because you don't have to raid for it. You can catch it in the wild. You can trade it relatively easily in the Beldum format to be able to get that XL candy. So that Pokemon is the number 1 budget counter that we are going to use. In spot number 5 and 6, we have Megaladios and Megaladias. Megaladios is going to have Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw. Megaladias is going to have Dragon Breath and Outrage, which is the better moveset, but the stats of the Latios is much better here. And then in spot number 7, we do have a Lucario, which at some point will have a Mega which will destroy the Kyurem, but as of right now, it's going to be Counter and Aura Sphere on this Pokemon. And then next, we are going to have the Mega Alakazam. Obviously, if we're talking about what the best Megas to use against this Pokemon, it would have been Mega Metagross because that would yield you the XL Candy. But let's talk about it right now. So as far as the XL Candy goes, we can use Dragon Pokemon, which are going to include Altaria, which would boost Dragon as well as Fairy moves, which is pretty cool. Not only that, we can also use Mega Charizard X for the Dragon type combination. You could even use both of the Mega Latios or Mega Latias, which would be double as effective because these Pokemon are going to be very strong against it to be able to yield that extra XL Candy. Or you could also use two other Pokemon, which is going to be Mega Aggron for the Steel type to be able to get that extra XL Candy. Or if you're looking to get outside of the Dragon type Pokemon, you could use Mega Glalie, or you can use Mega Abomasnow. But just remember, having that Pokemon Mega level 3 is the most important part of this aspect. So now let's get beyond these Megas that we're talking about for the XL Candy. Obviously, I'm giving you in the counter guide the Megas that you can use to be most effective to take on this Pokemon the fastest, but my goal always is to go in to get the most XL Candy possible extracted out of rating for this Pokemon. And then next, we can have Mega Aerodactyl with Rock Throw and Rock Slide for the Ice type combination, Conkeldurr with Counter and Dynamic Punch, another budget counter along with Lucario, but these two Pokemon are a little bit more challenging to get the XL Candy as is from the Beldum. And then we have Dialga, all Dragon types, and then we have the Rhyperior with Smackdown and Rock Wrecker, which is the Comday move. And then we have Mega Aggron in there, and then also we have Machamp with Counter and Dynamic Punch. And speaking of Machamp, the counters with the Shadow forms for Machamp and Hariyama will definitely be more effective than this regular Machamp here. So those are also budget but more premium counters that are still up there. And then we have Mega Lopunny and Mega Scizor coming in there, Mega Gyarados, and then we also have the Zacian followed by a bunch of Genesect. So those are going to be the top counters. Obviously stay as close to the top as physically possible, and if you want to max out most, you're going to use a Mega Latios to be able to get the Dragon XL Candy and to be able to do the most effectiveness. And since Latios and Latias are actually Dragon and Psychic type combination, they are not going to share that dual weakness for Ice as we would talk about the Rayquaza. Rayquaza is going to be effective against this Pokemon, but it is weak to every moveset, which is why you do not see it topping the charts, because it's going to be challenging to go in with that many Pokemon, which then leads us into the weather conditions for this Pokemon. As far as the sunny weather, we're not going to have too much of an effect, but the partly cloudy weather will boost all the rock type Pokemon, so all these rock types that we have talked about is going to be most effective here, which then leads us into the cloudy weather for the fighting and the fairy type combination. So this is going to be the most effective in the cloudy weather, which will then lead us into the rainy weather. Rainy weather will not have an effect on this Pokemon. And then we're going to go into the snowy weather. Snowy weather will boost all the ice type moves coming from this Pokemon and put this Pokemon at level 25. As far as foggy weather, there is no effect. As far as the windy weather, there is an effect because windy will boost all the dragons. It will also boost all of this Pokemon catching from Kyurem all the way to level 25 at 2553 for the 100% IV. And the snowy weather will also boost all the steel types. So that's going to be everything we need to know for this Pokemon's counter guide in Pokemon Go. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys are prepared. I hope you guys get good IV ones. I still need the 100% IV, and I can't wait to get it with you guys as well. So thank you guys for being here as always. To all my likers, comments, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes your support, subscription, and subscription to X. See you guys out in the next video. Peace.
I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and rating all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.